question of locus standi, I think the court has to find and lay down some principles and limits as regards the locus standi issue is concerned. Broadening it to the extent of entertaining petitions from busybodies, it actually does harm rather than promote human rights. And that's what has happened in recent years in Pakistan, and that's what I was referring to. And so far as your reference to the farmer's suicide is concerned, I am not fully aware of the issue, but I don't see any justiciable issue which could be brought before the court. And if it was happening due to certain policies adopted by the state or the union governments, then I would say that the court rightly pointed out that it was not really the forum, and the electorate would hold their elected representatives accountable in the next elections. The issue is that I think we are too impatient about human rights, and we want everything resolved overnight, or rather yesterday. That's not how politics works, and I don't think that is a way forward. I think we need to work more on democracy and greater participation and across South Asia, and I think we need to also explore other avenues of promoting human rights. And it's not just courts which should be seen as the vanguard of upholding human rights. I think we should all be responsible, all the organizations, whether institutions, whether in the state structures or outside the state structures, should be participating and promoting human rights. And it should not just be the courts who should be burdened with the aim of resolving all the human rights issues. That is simply not possible. The institution of courts, by their very nature, are limited in enforcing fundamental rights. For example, it has happened in Pakistan that there are thousands of enforced disappearances, and the cases are being heard in the Supreme Court of Pakistan. And let me say that Pakistani Supreme Court has not been much successful in recovering those disappeared, whether that be in Balochistan or be that in the tribal areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, because it is essentially a political issue, and it goes to the heart of the debate in Pakistani democracy. Whether it is the elected representatives, the institutions of the elected representatives in Pakistan who are the supreme institutions, or whether it is the armed forces who are supreme, or the Supreme Court which is the supreme. So I think we need to answer these questions, and I think the questions are similar in all the countries of South Asia. It's only that they need to be framed according to the political realities of one or the other specific country. So I would say that the Supreme Court of India rightly, I agree with that judgment. I haven't read it, but if that is what it said, then I would agree, because farmer suicide don't really involve any justiciable matter or any. I don't see, without having read that judgment and the circumstances, I don't see how the Supreme Court could enforce any rights if it were to have much to do with the policy of the government. So far as the Islamic injunctions used for the purpose of promotion of human rights is concerned, yes, there have been instances in which some liberal judges have used Islamic injunctions for the promotion of human rights, but they have basically taken strength from references in Islamic traditions, or for that matter the Holy Quran and the sayings of the Holy Prophet. But and at times, actually, what has happened in some of the cases that Islamic injunctions or Quranic provisions, or even the book which was put together in the period of Aurangzeb Alamgir, that has also been used to the detriment of the rights of the people, actually, in some criminal cases. And I have those the citations of those cases. In many cases, Islamic injunctions have actually been used to dislodge the existing legal framework, even the constitutional framework. So I would say that it's a very tricky matter, though Islamic injunctions have been used for the advancement of human rights generally, but it is slippery slope. And now I haven't seen any recent cases in which Islamic injunctions have been invoked for the promotion, generally to promote human rights. There was also the question about eunuchs. Yes, I was talking about transgenders. You just can't talk about LGBT rights in Pakistan. I know that there has been a judgment by Justice A.P. Shah on Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code. But in Pakistan, we can't even imagine that being talked about in Pakistani context. So I think that explains all.